You have found Authentic Business Adventures, the business program that brings you the struggle stories and triumphant successes of business owners across the land. My name is James Kateman, entrepreneur, author, speaker, and helpful coach to small business owners across the country. And today we're welcoming / preparing to learn from JD Uhler, the lead commissioner of XP League, as well as the co-owner of CodeNinjas Sun Prairie. So JD, how are you doing today?
Great, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for being here. So let's start with XP League. I have to apologize because outside of your email address, I've never heard of that. So can you just tell me or tell us what it is?
Yep, so XP League. So I am the lead commissioner of the Madison division of the XP League. It is in the US and Canada. It's a youth esports league for ages 7 to 15, so elementary, middle school. In Sun Prairie, we have upper middle school up to 9th grade. So we have the cutoff before they get into 10th grade or they can drive a car. That's kind of what we talk about.
All right.
And so, yeah, it's competitive video games.
Competitive video games. So playing or creating?
Competitive video games where they're playing against others.
Oh, interesting.
So, yep.
All right.
Is
it limited to a certain type of video game or is it just whatever you got?
We limit it to games that are appropriate for the 7 to 15 age group.
Okay.
So we do not do Call of Duty. People want to know if we do Call of Duty. We don't do that. But we do Overwatch, which is a team of 6 game, Fortnite squads, which is a team of 4, and then Rocket League, which is also a team of 4. And then we're adding more games this year yet too. So.
All right, interesting. So my buddies and I back in the day, we used to play Halo online, and I was terrible because I didn't really play it that often. My buddies were good, but we always joked that they weren't internet good because you'd go into a room and I would get smoked in 5 seconds.
Yep.
And my buddies would maybe last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So, which is better than 5 seconds. But I'm like, well, how are these kids this good? What are they?
So the equivalent to Halo or Quake or something like today, because I am old school too, first generation gamer as they call us. But now,
generation, that's funny. We
like Fortnite, yeah, exactly, yeah. Fortnite is like super popular, of course, and that's a battle royale format when you play it on the internet. And battle royale meaning you get dropped from an airplane and you parachute down to a place, and then you have to be the last one standing, and then you win. So it's like winner take all type of thing. What we've done at XP League is change that. So we've changed it into a team game. So you actually have a team of 4 that drops down into the world and plays against another team of 4. And the last man standing of those 8, the team with the last man standing wins. So it's a team game where you actually have to team up to beat another team.
All right.
So that's what it's all about. It's all about team sports. And we play seasons rather than events. A lot of people are used to these, like every quarter, there's like a pop-up event that has like 500 people. Yeah. Well, this is like a team of 4, like in your local community that you play with. You get rapport with your team, you build teamwork, and you have a coach, and you get better and better. And then you compete against, we got teams all across the country, California to North Carolina to Ottawa, Canada, and back to Madison.
I'm just picturing a lot of Mountain Dew instead of Gatorade as pretty an event kind of thing.
Yeah,
that is interesting. So the kids are coached.
Yes. Yep.
So who is the coach?
Yeah. So we have all of our coaches are certified by the Positive Coaching Alliance, the PCA. Okay. The PCA also certifies Major League Baseball, NBA, college coaches, and we're the first esports brand or in the PCA. So we have esports have certified coaches.
All right.
So we have like a head coach that's like a hired position. He's like our head coach. So he coordinates all coaches. And then our coaches are
full-time job.
He's like a full-time job with us.
Wow.
So he does like coaching guides and works with those coaches on being a better esports coach, just coaching techniques, dealing with, and these are kids. So sometimes it's their first opportunity to be coached.
All right.
Especially in esports, it's probably definitely the first time. And so like at the beginning level, they have to be good with kids about like, okay, you've never played soccer before, you've never played basketball before, well, you've never played Overwatch before. So we have to, get to the basics of how you play, what are the controls, what's the goal, how do you work as a team? And like the advanced players are like 13, 14, 15-year-old, they already know. And so they just need to get drills done, become better technical players and become like better communicators. So that's what the coaches, focus on at the different levels.
All
And
right.
our coaches are, we have dads, the coach that we train and get the certification. We've got college students. We've got high school senior captains of of the Edgewood High School Overwatch team that are coaching. And those are like assistant coaches, we call it, because they're really there because they know the game so well. And they love it because they're on a path to, an esports career in playing, coaching, streaming, which we know is the gateway to get into STEM jobs and, computers and automation jobs in the future.
All right. When you say career in gaming, are you talking the kind of the YouTube kids that go on there and play the game, comment on it, and then?
Yeah, there's professional esports players that are making multiple $1 million a year.
Yeah.
Now, New York Times just had an article about how much money they're making, which is professional level sport money.
Right.
That's just one thing though, because there's also the business of esports, which is every job you can think of, just like an NFL team or an MLS team or whatnot. They've got a whole group of people behind them doing, promotion, doing, equipment, even like there's a chef for the team, things like that to make sure they're eating healthy. Yes.
I'm just picturing like here's a bag of Doritos and a frozen pizza.
Yeah, that's exactly, and that's where we're trying to change the way that's looked at. Because like
all right,
I literally have an energy drink by me here too with a Rockstar.
nice.
But for esports playing, I mean, it is grueling because you can be in a tournament all day long and all night, especially at the pro level, where it's like bathroom breaks and bad eating habits come into play. So at a young youth level, we teach them healthy eating habits, fitness, even carpal tunnel is real, especially in
Oh, I bet.
playing video games.
I bet.
And so we do stretches, we do some get up, move around breaks that are needed in this too. So it's esports is becoming, it was the Wild West when we were younger. It wasn't even that. It was just like getting together with buddies and
we would do LAN
playing
parties.
LAN parties. Yep.
Yeah, we would do LAN parties, and I was not the IT guy. All my buddies were IT guys, so they would spend the first 3 hours connected.
Yep.
And then the next couple hours, people dropping off the network. Whatever.
Yes, exactly.
And then you'd get it going, and then because it took so long to get going, you didn't sleep because you just wanted to keep.
Yep, exactly.
And it was just surreal to watch them. Like some of these guys would bring these computers where they got like, this is pre-typical LED. Like LEDs are everywhere now.
Yeah.
Back then it was like, whoa, your box is glowing red. What is that?
Right, exactly.
But that was also the age of 56K modems and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yep. I grew up in that time as well.
Yeah, it was
I was that IT guy though. So
you what?
I was the IT guy.
Well, I imagine you must be to be where you're at now, because I'd be like, IP address, something interesting. Yeah, I know enough to be dangerous, but what they were doing, I'm sure we could figure it out now. Do they still have LAN parties?
You don't have to have that now. I mean, you can.
Okay,
but
there's an internet, so we don't.
Typically, internet's fast enough, so you just all jump on the internet and say, "Hey, what's the room code or what's the game code, map code?"
Okay,
and jump on.
So I want to ask you about that. So you come in a room, and it's basically only people that are invited. It's not necessarily the entire world.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. So it's very organized, and so we have teams all over the country that are coached by the same type of coaches. We have a league, office that coordinates all the games across. And we have follow the same standards, and so, it's supposed to be a safe environment where you're, free of no bullying, no negativity, positive, and, teaching good sportsmanship, Raging is a thing, right? When you lose, you like throw your controller across the room and things like that. Like
I
that's a
had a
real
buddy.
thing.
I had a buddy lose a TV because he got a little
Yeah.
excited.
Yep. Exactly. And so we teach about how to rein in those emotions, and
All right.
especially when you're in a team. And sometimes you won't know these kids you're playing with right away. Like the first day of practice is kind of like quiet, like, but now you're like in a public setting where you need to behave yourself a little bit, and
All right.
that helps kids grow at that development age level to be better team players and better human beings overall.
Interesting. That's pretty cool. You mentioned drills, and that triggered something in me. Like, how do you do a drill? Because I'm thinking of soccer. You kick the ball, whatever. Do they set up drills for specific games?
Yeah, we have like there's of course there's software to drill kids on improving their esports skills.
Okay.
So like aiming, rapid fire type stuff, like these are first person shooters a lot of the time. We also have like Rocket League, which is different, but first person shooters, you need to be able to pivot and aim and snipe and do it quickly. So the best players in the world are going to be able to do that better than others. But then it's also the drills about communicating too. So we'll be like, okay, everybody's going to drop into the map and I'm going to time you. You got to get to this location as fast as you can. And then we're going to do it again. All right, improve your time. Do it again. Do it again. And part of it is like communicating, like, where are you? Like, where are you guys? Like, I'm headed here. And like, we also have like, pick up these items. You have to have these items before you get there. And like, all right, I'll get this one. You get that one. And so it's, a lot of that teamwork drills to get better. And then they're pushing each other, to like, hey, we need that better time, giving each other tips on like, all right, maybe go here, jump here to make it quicker, and so it's, they help out each other then to become better.
Nice. So these guys, they have headsets on and they're
Yep.
communicating that way, right? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. They have gaming PCs. We have all of our own high-powered gaming PCs that the pros use.
All right.
So these are high refresh graphics cards, and then they have great processors, great memory. So they're really powerful. So we want to be able to compete against these other cities that have we want to beat them, and so we make sure we have the best, and that's what we give them.
So I want to talk about the systems themselves, right? The gaming PCs. Because for the business that I have, I usually buy used gaming PCs for my I have a call answering service, right? So we got a lot of stuff going on, but nowhere near the level that the gamers use.
Yep.
So it's always nice. I'm the guy that buys the secondhand stuff from you guys.
Sure.
Some of those video cards, oh my gosh, man! From a pricing point of view,
Yep.
you're talking thousands of dollars.
Yeah. The market right now, yeah. So like we have partnerships with HP, Hewlett Packard, Lenovo, Alienware, Dell, where we can get good gaming laptops at good prices. So we're buying them in bulk because we have dozens of them.
All right.
And so, but if you and this is like maybe a tip for people that are watch this, or I tell this to people too, is that if you try to build your own computer right now, you try to buy an individual graphics card, it is like $1,000 just for the graphics card.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like I built my own computers in the past, and it was reasonable to do, but you're dropping a lot of money just on the graphics card alone. So really, right now, it's the package sets, or those big manufacturers that get these better prices with the graphics card vendors,
all right,
where they can get competitive prices. So it really, at least in the short term here, it's hurting people that want to build their own computers. Right. People are still going to do it, but it's going to cost a lot of money.
So is the reason for that because China was shut down for a little bit, or is it a Bitcoin mining thing?
Yeah, so I know from firsthand experience that there is a shortage because of the China thing in multiple computer components, including processors, graphics cards, primarily those. And so, yeah, it's, it's like, who's got some? It's like, we need more. And we're also working with, our players, the parents, to be like, hey, here's where we found this, here's a recommendation on something you can get. Because yeah, it's tough right now to get the PCs that you want.
Interesting. So does each individual kid have their own computer, their laptop that they bring to and from, or do
No,
you have
so
a station set up for them?
they're all ours because we need a standard configuration for all of
Gotcha.
these PCs.
Okay.
So they do and can play from home, practice when we're not practicing. We have a hour and a half practice once a week
All
where we
right.
come in with the coaches and we have like an agenda of,
Okay.
learning a valuable skill, becoming a better teammate, or, working with your emotions like that.
Yeah.
But then we give them things to do at home as like homework practice too, and they use their own systems for that. And that's where, if they're cross-platform games like, Overwatch, you can play on anything, Rocket League can play on anything. So they're going to have lower power a lot of times at their home on whatever that is, but they're
Right.
still playing. They could still jump on Discord server, which is the communication for gamers app. They can get on there and talk to the teammates so that they're staying connected even outside of games
All
and
right.
practices.
Can you tell me about the monitor setup that you guys have?
Yeah, so we only have laptops,
Oh,
and
so they're
the
just
reason
off a.
we have gaming laptops.
Okay.
A lot of kids bring in their own keyboards and mice or controllers.
All right.
So we definitely allow that. And they hold them different ways and have different styles. And it's like, bring that in, just hook it into the USB of the laptop.
Yeah.
We use laptops because we want to be mobile, and we're like a nomadic esports league. So we want to go where the people are. So we don't want to be hunkered down in just a LAN center,
Yeah.
or that exists, or an arena. Like you have they have like awesome computers at those locations, and we're partnering with those. Like we're partnering with a bunch of arenas around Madison.
All right.
But we want to be able to go into a school, a church, wherever it is that they want to play, and we bring the league to them. And so we have all laptops for that reason.
Gotcha. So I want to back up a step here. When you say a bunch of these places around Madison, how many are we talking?
Yeah, so right now we have 2 locations for
Okay.
the XP League. It is at the CodeNinjas in Sun Prairie is like our northeast Dane County location, and then we also play at Edgewood College. It's actually the Edgewood College High School and Campus School.
All right.
It's the K through college experience there. We play at their science center and in their arena at the Edgewood College. We have I'm an alumni of Edgewood College and Edgewood High School. They are both partnering with and sponsoring us to play there.
Wow.
So that we rent out space in the science center at Edgewood,
Okay.
and we play like on the first level, and have lots of lots of room for our setup. And the college, Luis is the Edgewood College director and coach there, is sponsoring us, and we have a very tight partnership with them. And we're going to do more and more events with them going forward. So that's kind of our central Madison location. Then we're adding a new one on the northwest side of Madison, kind of by Middleton, close to Middleton, Madison, close to where I grew up on the west side of Madison. And we're also looking at like a southeast, like Monona McFarland location as well. So
Gotcha. Wow.
we're looking to, have hopefully 4 or 5 locations by the end of the year.
Oh, that's cool. So what kind of bandwidth do you guys need from an internet perspective? The pipe
A lot.
A lot. I was just gonna ask. You gotta have 3 fiber lines coming in or something like that?
Yeah. So yeah, it's ridiculous how much throughput we have for our games. And I haven't even talked about streaming too, which we stream all of our games on our Twitch feed. XPL Madison
Okay.
is our Twitch. And so the parents and cousins and grandmas and brothers and sisters can come on and watch their gamer play, and it becomes a family event. Like you have like a family watch party, and it's all online, of course. So especially during COVID times, it's just, you don't have to be there watching them like a soccer game or a basketball game. You can just, we have parents that sit in the parking lot and watch the Twitch, or they'll just run home, or they'll go like, I've even done this where I'm like running through Costco and I've got my Twitch up on my phone as I'm shopping, so it's just like, it's just so cool. You can watch this competition from anywhere, you want. So, sorry, go ahead.
Is there any sports betting on this stuff?
There is sports betting at the professional level. Of course, it's illegal. It's illegal at our level, of course, but
This is a whole new world for me.
Yeah.
I remember watching my little brother, big brother's big sister's little brother, and he was watching some kid play a video game, and I just looked at it and I just could not understand it. And then he explained to me, it's no different than watching baseball.
Exactly.
And to me, I'm like, well, I get bored watching baseball.
Baseball is boring now.
So I mean, just
it's great to have in the background listening to when you're doing something else.
Sure.
And listen to Bob Uecker call a home run event. You're like, oh wait, what was that?
Entertaining. Yeah. I guess I can watch hockey, but outside of that, I just don't have the patience to watch.
Yeah, esports is fast moving. Of course, there's action constantly, and so there's an education to it. Like everybody, well, like when I was a kid, I was like, how do you play football? How do you play soccer? How do you play basketball? Okay. Everybody learns, and so parents now, a lot of parents were gamers growing up, so they know some of it, but a lot of moms and stuff who weren't gamers are like, what is my son doing in the basement all the time? Well, now you can see, and you can see how he is, becoming a good teammate and becoming a better person because he's part of a team now and not just sucking up 5 hours of life every day alone in his basement. So, so we make our streams educational. So we're like, okay, here's how Overwatch works. And we explain to the viewer who is brand new to it how it works. And then they're like, oh my gosh, now I know what he's doing. It's not that complicated. It's just like a team sport. It's just like conventional sport.
Sure.
It's just in something that he already loves to do. And he's not athletic, or we have a lot of athletic kids too, and they just want to do this because it's awesome. But it really opens up a whole new group of kids that can find a way to play a sport too. All right. That's what's amazing about it.
Interesting. And I imagine I don't know what it is, 10 below or something here.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of soccer going on.
No way.
So you can play this anywhere.
We have seasons that run all year long, every season. We have, we're running winter season right now, and we have spring season starting here at February 20th is the first games of Rocket League.
Okay.
And then the 27th, we have the first ones for Overwatch and Fortnite. So we're running tryouts constantly at Edgewood and at CodeNinjas Sun Prairie.
Hold on, tryouts? You got to tell me about this.
Yeah. So, and tryouts meaning that you come and try it, and it's like it's try it out. We call it when they get there. It's like this is a try it out. This is not a tryout.
Oh, so you're not cutting people from the team or something.
Everybody makes the team. This is youth level.
Okay.
When you get to high school, there's junior varsity, varsity, whatever. You're going to make a team or you're not.
All right.
At this level, everybody makes a team. So there's different levels. So we have silver and gold. So like the beginning players that have never played before, like we had a kiddo that came in a couple of nights ago that he's like, I play Fortnite. And we're like, and we have kids try out all our games, Overwatch, Fortnite, and Rocket League to see what they really like. Because it's like, you may have not been exposed to these other games. And so he tried Overwatch and he fell in love with it immediately. And he was good. Like within an hour tryout, he was like doing so well. Could not believe the growth. I mean, that's what the kids can do. Like give them a soccer ball or give them a tennis racket. And you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you could be that good, that fast. So so he joined our Overwatch team then. And the tryout, is really just like, okay, what's your skill level? Okay, you're new to Overwatch, you're going to join our silver team.
That is cool.
But then we have like 14, 15-year-olds that come in. It's like, okay, you've been playing for 5 years, you're on the gold team, and you might even be good enough to get to a regional tournament or a national tournament. So we have a national tournament in August where the best of the best play against each other too, and they win prizes like college scholarships and cool gaming gear and stuff. So yeah, college scholarships.
College scholarship off of this.
Yep.
Wow. And what type of college would they get a scholarship from for something like this?
Yeah, so Edgewood College right here in Madison has scholarships for esports now.
Wow.
And so Lakeland University that we partner with Amon Green. We have iHeart Radio and Fox Sports 1070 Madison we partner with. So Amon Green is the esports coach at Lakeland University in Sheboygan. And so he's a phenomenal coach, by the way. I enjoy talking with him. And obviously he knows esports and he's of our generation, grew up with gaming and and whatnot. So yeah, it's quite the community.
How recent are we talking for college scholarships coming into play with esports?
Yeah, just in the last 5 years.
Okay.
And it's growing. Like this year, it's growing big time. Because of the pandemic too, the number of people playing esports at the high school level has increased greatly. And so they've had to create scholarships, and one path that I'm working on with the Edgewood College is, that some of their esports players like are in psychology or computer science or whatnot, but they all come in thinking I'm going to use technology in my job, and I'm doing esports too. So like I can, like you have focus at this college on technology and future jobs, and I can play esports. Like that's exactly what young kids are looking into now, getting those opportunities. So yeah, they want to offer them scholarships to get them there academically and for sports too. I'm getting some glare from my window here.
Windows, what? That's interesting. So I'm wondering from an equipment point of view, in my mind, I got a 7-year-old kid, and there's certain sports that I feel are pretty expensive to play, and there's other sports that are dirt cheap. Like you never hear of a rich kid getting into boxing, but you never or rarely hear of a poor kid getting into hockey. Yeah. So where do the esports fit in there? Is it?
Yeah.
There's some kids that just that way. Families can't afford to get them in there.
Yes.
Like the equipment would be expensive.
Yeah. So then we have all the equipment. We buy all the equipment, which makes it cheaper to enter right away, because you don't have to buy hockey equipment. And my daughter does dance, which is like expensive for lessons and stuff too. But so yeah, we feel like competitively with other sports, it's actually pretty low. It's kind of like soccer. It's kind of like, high level soccer though. It's like, it's not like it is competitive, and we want to make these kids better gamers and better people. So our coaches and our philosophy is about professional level experience. So we do things like interviewing of players, and so they can get on camera right away and get that experience of like talking about yourself, talking about other people, talking about your team and your experience. And it's so cool to get these kids on a camera. And in this age, cameras and videos are everywhere. Yeah. But being in a responsible environment with that, and so it's priced competitively with people that are like, not like overly serious about sports, but especially in this area, that it's the gateway to STEM careers and getting kids into STEM, that parents are on board with it like very quickly.
Yeah, this is a whole new world to me because, like I said, I only have a 7-year-old kid. So before, I didn't really know any of this stuff. I didn't know there were things like hockey high schools.
Oh yeah.
When I had a buddy of mine that said he was moving to a different state for his kid to go to a hockey high school, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
What? It just blew my mind. So this isn't surprising. I guess. That goes.
Yeah, and the best part about this is like you don't need a hockey arena, or you don't need a basketball court or some other infrastructure that's very costly to get up and running.
Oh my gosh. I saw my kid in the beginning was into hockey, and then I saw how much goalie gear was.
Oh yeah.
That he would fit in for 6 months or whatever.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and just like renting ice time is expensive, so expensive, and they pass that on to the parents and consumers. So and even renting soccer fields or basketball courts. It's just like a huge competition that's got to have all this logistics involved with it. And we're like, do you have internet that's reliable and fast? You're in. Yeah. So and the kids can play from home. And it's very real during COVID time, especially. It's getting better now. It's like in Wisconsin, but back in November it was pretty hard here, and we had kids that would play remotely then, and we'd like loan them out a laptop and be like,
oh, interesting.
Like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, you have a COVID scare. We'll bring it right over to your house, or you can come pick it up, and it's all set up and our stuff. You just have to, connect your Wi-Fi to it, and you're all set to go. We had a kid play from an airport one time because he was
Really?
in between flights.
Oh, nice.
And he's like, I'm not going to miss this. Or a kid played from his cabin up north Wisconsin, like that. So it's so cool. It's like, well, I'm going to miss a couple games because I'm going on vacation or I'm traveling or I'm seeing this person or doing that. It's like, do you have a PC? Do you
All
need
right.
one? So you don't, the chance of missing a game and failing your team, I'm so worried about I won't be a good teammate. It's like,
Right.
well, you can play from anywhere. So
All right. So you raise an interesting point then. Do you guys have subs that come
yeah,
in if somebody can't make it for whatever
we
reason
do.
or their
Yep,
video card dies or whatever?
exactly. Yeah, so we do.
Okay.
We've had that where and we plan for that. It's like we have like gold teams and like
Mhm.
the better kids on the silver teams will be like, hey, you're going to be an alternate for the gold team, and so
All
it's a
right.
great opportunity for you to play up a couple of weeks if there's
Mhm.
people gone. So and we're going to have you practice with the gold because we think you can be a gold player.
All right.
In one season, 2 seasons, you're going to beef up your skills and then be able to
Sure.
join that. So yeah, we do that. Silver team level, same thing where we have multiple teams. So it's like, hey, Jimmy's going to be gone today. Do you want to play 2 games today? Just jump in. And it's
All
like,
right.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I suppose it's much easier to improve your skills if you're playing with people that are better than you
Yeah, definitely.
versus playing with people that are worse than you. You're probably not
Yep.
doing yourself any favors.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not age dependent too. Like I grew up being a soccer player, so I always make these equivalents, but there's like U8, U10, U12, U14,
Yeah.
like and they do it differently now, or I don't know, they switch back. They keep changing it. But
Right.
then you're playing with just people your age. But like there's an 8-year-old kid who's like awesome at Overwatch. We're not gonna hold him back, like just play your age level.
Yeah.
Like
Imagine there's the
you're in
physical.
gold, man. You're
Yeah.
you're you're moving up.
The
So
physical limitation is pulled out of the
exactly.
equation.
Yep. And yeah,
So
the maturity level and the communication level that these young kids have, it's like you showed us that you can compete at a higher level, so
yeah.
we're immediately moving you up. So really
Huh.
doesn't hold people back from being really good really early.
All
So
right. And I suppose that doesn't the people that they're playing may not even know that they're
yep,
8, something like that.
they don't. Yep. And
I'd
yeah,
probably
they
be mildly depressed if I was playing somebody and I was like, I got beat by an 8-year-old.
yeah, exactly.
So I
Yep.
guess it's probably at that level, probably completely expected.
Yeah, my 10-year-old daughter and my 12-year-old daughter, they both beat me at Rocket League every time.
Oh,
So
funny.
like 3 years ago when we played it when they were younger, I was
Yeah,
like, oh, this is how you play it, and stuff. And now it's like, okay, I got to catch up.
that's awesome. That is cool. We don't have a ton of time left, so I want to talk about what you have going on with CodeNinjas. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So CodeNinjas is very related. It is teaching kids how to code by building video games. So we have like a belt system that goes from like white to black belt, like a martial arts studio,
Okay.
like your karate, and you're gonna complete coding projects by building video games to earn belts, and then move up until you get a black belt. And then at the black belt level, we help you build a game, come up with an idea, build the game, and then publish it for others to buy it, play it. Something you can put on a resume, and you're like 12 years old. Again, we're
Wow.
creating like the prodigies of the future. So,
Yeah.
um, and then they learn 3 different programming languages at least along the way. There's some optional things they get to do along the way with robotics and with internet-based coding things that are out there. But we have our own core proprietary curriculum that we've built, and it's the best path for kids as young as actually 5 years old. We start at to learn how to code.
5 years old, they're starting to learn how to code.
Yep.
Wow. And what languages are you? What are the 3 languages? What are the 3 languages that you guys?
Yeah, the core program is JavaScript,
Okay.
and which is like most popular in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do Lua, which is what kids play Roblox. It's built on Lua,
Okay.
which is like a C programming language.
Okay.
And then Unity 3D, which is the development environment, is our higher level belts, and that's with C#, which is At a professional level, I coded in C#. So it's like,
Wow.
I'm a 10-year-old, or 11-year-old programming in this, like, we know they can do it at that young of an age. They by building games, they're super engaged
All
and
right.
they love it. I mean, it's
Cool.
it's amazing.
That
And
is
then they're building like 3D games that like you play on your phone, like apps like on your phone, or
right.
web based apps
Okay.
and games. And so it really then opens them up to a world, like a lot of our advanced kids are like on the path to like get into a new program at a high school and college level. And that's where my prodigy management is working at the high school and college level, to have a path for these kids to continue that learning journey, to be a game designer with like a studio. Sorry, I'm trying to move for my son again. It's like I gotta just close that window.
We haven't
here
seen
in a second.
Sun in years.
I know. But yeah, so so I'm working with some institutions in the area to get better programs for these kids, to and also like game design based curriculum where it's just fun, to do it, and they're engaged with it. Like when I was going through my high school, I had a couple of computer classes, and my college was using these like old programming languages. It's just boring. But I was like, I got to get this degree. But
Right.
now we can make it so much better, and so much more engaging. And with the gamification of a lot of corporate everything, corporate trainings, and just the Gen X, or the Gen X, the millennials that are coming through are like, they want it to be a cool place, cool work environment thing. And so they're not going to want these dry, old, videos to watch. They're going to want cool stuff. So there's got to be programmers and stuff that build that. And so that's what we're looking to do.
So yeah, it's interesting. I learned to code way back when in BASIC.
Yeah.
And you thought you were the coolest thing in the world when you could turn the screen red or make these little boxes and stuff like that. And then I remember taking a college course in C++ that I got smoked in. I didn't do so hot in that. But it's interesting. Like I know that you could do a lot of stuff in C++ that I didn't even scrape the tip of the iceberg with. But then you see these newer languages, what they can do.
Yeah. It's way cooler now. Way cooler.
Oh my gosh. You can see the apps that they're coming out with. I mean, they're pumping out apps all day long. Every day there's new stuff coming out there. Yeah, it's impressive. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, and just there's still such a shortage of, like, you talk to corporations and businesses, they still can't get enough high quality talent, and they don't want to spend the money to train them either. So
that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You can argue about loyalty there.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's why we want to get as many kids and parents have this upward demand that, like, look, we are here to learn it. So you got to up your game at the upper levels, high schools and colleges, to meet the high quality education demands that are there.
Right. So the prodigy management, you are reaching out to universities and colleges and high schools and essentially saying, hey, let's get some curriculum in place.
Yeah. And partners. And that's where we have gaming studios.
Okay.
We have Raven in Madison here. They're tough nut to crack, though, to get them involved. We're working on that. But we have other ones that we're working with global companies to get programs in place at our local colleges, universities that are engaging, high quality things that more kids are going to want to do, and equates to jobs coming right out of college, internships, all these opportunities. And a lot of them in my space are going to be, in the gaming esports worlds. But, we find that, knowing those coding skills, and if you learn, one language or learn to work as a team to build something, that's transferable to any industry, really. And any industry is looking to become better at technology. So they're going to want they're going to want these, these highly educated people coming out into the entry level workforce.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't feel like software is going away.
Right.
I think there's some job security there, I think, if you get into that world.
Yep.
Yeah, I think even Mark Cuban said just teach your kids to code.
Yep.
And they'll be fine, kind of thing.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So CodeNinjas too. And this is the thing. And I went through this path with my own father and my own life, is that my father's working full time, making a living to support his family.
Mm-hmm.
I like coding when I'm 7. Like I did the same thing. I coded in BASIC when I was 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But he can't nurture that very much. He's just like throws a computer at me, like, and
Here's an Apple
best intentions.
Sure.
He's teachable moments here and there, but like our CodeNinjas, we have senseis, which because it's like a ninja,
right,
dojo model. They're there to support your kid all the way through. So that's like why do I do this? It's because you get somebody who knows how to teach coding every day, that is an expert at it, that you can send your kid in for an hour or 2 a week and drop them off and you get rid of them for a couple of hours and turn it into productive screen time, because Lord knows there's so much unproductive screen time right now.
Oh yeah.
And get them with a mentor, these senseis that will teach them how to code. And you don't have to do it yourself. Like my dad couldn't do it for me. Like bless his heart, because he's doing other things. But we've got these, they're paid senseis that are teaching coding. Like that's their skill, is to teach kids how to code, and they're engaging, they're fun. Like all of our stuff is like, you build code and then you play. Like you play your game, you play other people's games, you play we play Minecraft, and we have like a Nintendo Switch and Roblox and stuff. We allow like the fun time too, because you got to make it fun too.
Right.
So it's this environment of mentorship and like peers that are with each other that can form this kind of community center,
interesting
neighborhood type feel. So
how long have you been involved with CodeNinjas?
So 2.5 years.
Okay.
So that's
it's fairly new.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. And it's a franchise, I believe. Is that right?
Yep, that's correct.
All right. How long has the franchise been around?
Since 2016, 5 years.
Okay. So still relatively new as well.
Yep. We were the first one to open in Wisconsin, in Sun Prairie.
All right.
Sun Prairie, because it's the best place to live,
right,
in the state. Now there's 3 of them. There's one on the west side of Madison. There's one in Brookfield by Milwaukee there.
Can you tell me how tough is it to bring awareness to parents? Like, hey, you can bring your 5-year-old kid in here to learn how to code, or even bring your 12-year-old kid in here to learn how to code.
Yeah.
Because I think that's somewhat of a paradigm shift from, bringing your kid to learn whatever karate or soccer or basketball
it is.
Camps and all that.
Yeah, the last 2.5 years.
Code.
Yeah, the first goal of for us is to educate the area about the benefits of coding. Like, and I think we just described some of them, and and once, like, that's the thing, the kids come in, they're like, oh, this place is amazing, and they fall in love with it immediately. So it's just like getting them there, and the parents then are like, oh yeah, like I've heard that we need to get them into coding, and it's not just about the coding, because there are articles out there that's like, well, it's another skill to learn, but it's also about getting into an environment with mentors and peers that are similar, that are into tech. Kids, you just need to nurture that love of technology in a healthy way, because they can, like, we've got lots of dads that are like technology focused and they're awesome, but again, like, it's just about the time, and then the kids are learning more than they are, and then the kids are teaching the dad, I learned this today and we're doing this, check it out, type of thing. So it's just very cool.
That sounds cool. What got you involved in all this? From business ownership, entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I was a programmer for 15 years. So like heads down, full stack developer, as they say. We didn't call it full stack back in the day, but I did all the programming you can do, from back end to front end, databases and front end web development, back end development, all that. And my wife is a teacher. So we took my programming and her teaching, and we're like kids, and we have kids in like there were 7 and 9 at the time.
Yeah.
Right in the wheelhouse of these programs. So for our own kids, we knew it's very important. My 10-year-old like just codes for fun, like when she has a few minutes, it's just part of her life now.
All right.
And so yeah, we found this opportunity. I'm an entrepreneur because of Prodigy management that I have too. Mm-hmm. And so I was like Prodigy. The whole point was to get more kids, like myself as like this child prodigy that needed more nurturing. And in this, I like it was seeing 20 years in the future when the job I wanted is the job I currently have right now, and in gaming and video game design and development. So
yeah,
so now we can just that's a real thing, that's real jobs now, and we can get those kids in there early. And we were like, let's do that. That's that meets what we do as far as education and technology.
Yeah.
And so boom, then we opened the CodeNinjas.
That's cool. Were you looking for a franchise that offered this, or did you stumble upon it?
We were looking for concepts,
okay,
like to build ourselves in Sun Prairie. Like we were looking at spaces in Sun Prairie to do that, to start from the ground up with our own business model. And then we saw this, we're like, oh my gosh, that's exactly our talents, and we can do it right here. And we're like, well, that saves a lot of legwork for doing all that upfront work of building our own curriculum and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, they already had that ready, and we just able to bring it in, and then we just add our own personality and community relationships to it, and then there you go.
Interesting. What were some of the surprises, or I guess challenges, that you didn't necessarily anticipate through the few years you've been in business doing this?
Yeah, it is like you talked about, educating the public about what we do, the importance of STEM education and computer science, and just really making people aware of it, because we do feel, and especially with XP League now too, like gaming and STEM kind of go together. And so now with that package, you can do both. You can sign up for both, and kids do. That you'll come in there and be able to do it. So, yeah, sorry, I lost the question too, but it's just a thing that we knew that our community needed something more. Like we get a lot of parents that say, we needed something like this around here. There's like nothing around here like this that we can do for like this new tribe of kids that don't have a place. Like I didn't have a place. I had a place, but I had to it was kind of like forced to do the things that I was not comfortable with, which are good. Doing things uncomfortable is fine.
Sure.
But in my comfort zone and where I could expand, it's getting these kids that are looking for their group and can do this.
Nice. Do you have any competition?
Not in our area. There is on the west side of Madison.
Okay.
Our primary competition is virtual offerings.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So there's like White Hat and ID Tech.
Okay.
And these things are like conglomerate, like people in remote parts of the country that are not local. They're just people they could find at a cheap labor price and that are willing to do it. So like ID Tech charges ridiculous amounts of money, like triple what we charge. Wow. And it's just criminal. And they, because they have this broad marketing budget that they can spread across the world.
All right.
They can compete with us, but we have, we've got surveys and stuff that our programs are better than them. And we have that local connection too, that like we have people from, Wanakee and Janesville and Madison that work for us. So these are like Midwest, values, local Madison, Dane County values, like that work for us. And so they can connect with the community a lot better than these virtual programs.
Yeah, there's something to be said for teaching in person.
Yeah.
Even now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we have been we are in person too. We've been in person. We did close when it was mandatory to close back in March through May of last year. We did virtual for that time. We do have virtual programs too. And we still run those virtual. But we are primarily in person because we want that sensei mentorship relationship with the kids.
Yeah, someone that can look over their shoulder, and I think there's an authenticity, I guess, and a warmness, energy that you get from being with people.
And I guess you were asking about like trouble, so the education part,
right,
or like troubles in the beginning, getting the word out. I mean, I think we were pretty strong. I mean, COVID hit, which is this big struggle, of course, because we are primarily in person. I think that, and I say this on all podcasts and interviews I do, is that the point of sale system for the franchise is a joke. It's terrible.
Oh no!
And it's been like that for a long time. And that's like a system for a technology franchise that is just so bad. And we've been fighting for years as franchises together to get a new one. And hope this year we can finally do that. But
they make you go through their system.
Yeah, and it's a terrible system. You cannot easily sign up for something over the internet, which is, or it's just like, are you kidding me? You can't do that in your technology education company. So that's the only thing that's been tough, is that system is very manual, very difficult to use.
Yeah.
And we're, we wanted that to be better, and that's the only complaint so far. So
that I'm gonna compare to.
So that's the franchise model issue.
Yeah.
So
compared to a lot of stories that I've heard of people starting up, that is on the verge of negligible. I mean, getting paid is a big deal, but that's
when it's questionable every week if you're going to get paid, it's like, that's not good.
Yeah, not ideal.
So,
not ideal. Well, awesome, JD. This has been super cool. This has been interesting. There's a whole new world that I have never even known existed.
Yeah.
Not on an organized professional level.
Yep.
So that is cool.
So if you want to come out, you're nearby us here. You can check out CodeNinjas in Sun Prairie. We also call it the CodeNinjas XP League Arena. It's our Madison area headquarters for the XP League as well.
Cool. How can people, I guess, find you either on the web or even physical?
Yep. So CodeNinjas.com for CodeNinjas, and then xpleague.gg/Wisconsin. You can also go to our Facebook page. And I did mention our Twitter, XPL Madison. You can check out our games. They're free for anyone to come on and check those out and follow us.
Nice.
And
you guys have the Twitch channel.
Yep.
Which was XPC, just
XPL Madison.
XPL. See, that's my
XP League Madison.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Cool.
No worries. CodeNinjas.com. We have summer camps coming up for ages 5 to 14 for CodeNinjas. We are working with Edgewood College on esports summer camps, which will be 3 weeks in July. We have the date set. We're just working on the content of those esports summer camps down at the college, and maybe next year, maybe this year, doing overnight, stay for a week, esports,
wow,
floodgates open, esports all week long.
Sure.
Drop the kid off, cool. drive down from Fond du Lac, drop them off for the week, and see you on Friday, overnight camps for esports. Damn. Boom.
That's cool. That's very cool. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you, JD.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is fun. I love it. This has been Authentic Business Adventures, the business program that brings you the struggle stories and triumphant successes of business owners across the land. We are underwritten locally by the Bank of Sun Prairie. If you're listening to this on the web, which you probably are, please give a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment, as well as share with all your friends. My name is James Kademan, and Authentic Business Adventures is brought to you by Calls on Call, offering call answering and receptionist services for service businesses across the country, on the web at callsoncall.com, as well as Draw In Customers Business Coaching, offering business coaching services for entrepreneurs looking for growth, on the web at drawincustomers.com, and of course, the Bold Business Book, a book for the entrepreneur in all of us, available wherever fine books are sold. We'd like to thank you, our wonderful listeners, as well as our guests, JD Uhler, lead commissioner of XP League of Madison and co-owner of CodeNinjas in Sun Prairie. JD, thank you so much. This has been awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Past episodes can be found morning, noon, and night at the podcast link found at drawincustomers.com. Thank you for listening. We will see you next week. I want you to stay awesome. And if you do nothing else, enjoy your business.